This is Carlisle Patchwork Opera. It's a loose affiliation of random people with the idea, nice random people, good random people, with the idea of collaborating together, putting together poems, songs, words with the loose correlation of Carlisle, but not necessarily in its geographic sense, but Carlisle as an image, as a feeling, as a sense. And the thing that holds it together roughly is that the diverse is ordinary, and the ordinary is magical. There's something beautiful about the place that you live. And that's true for everybody, but this is about Carlisle. So tonight, we're doing songs, words and music. We're hoping that at some point there will be images and other forms as well. It's open to anybody who wants to join in or wants to contribute. Please feel free to do so. You can either contact me, Nick, or have a look if you're on the internet, Carlisle Patchwork Opera on Facebook. So, without further ado.
Basically, everybody welcome.
Yes. All contributions gratefully received.
The North Sea is bold. He kisses salty eyes. He laughs at your cries as he throws you through the maelstrom. But west waters flow like a woman, secretive and slow. In the moonshine we climbed West Gate and wagons rolled, fled the high-rise ghettos and the black snow, looking for simple things and space to grow in this town of red stone walls. The air long time was grey from coal fire, grey from carbide faces at the winding but west winds are warm. Heather and thyme we drove through midnight to find them, and we climbed West Gate and wagons rolled, followed Latin footsteps, and the skylarks scold, brought our photographs and strange jazz chords to this town of red stone walls. Red stone walls warm you, wrap you in their glow. Morning bells call to you, yawning, echoing. Dance with me through streets that flow through this town of red stone walls. Sunday paper faces washed up on a shore. In their eyes, simple things they're looking for. And I wonder, could we find room for just one more in our town of red stone walls, our town of red stone walls.
It was always someone else's, somewhere else. London Road, Scotland Road, the same road, everywhere. The shorthand for going somewhere out of nowhere. Know-how out of know-nothing, where the measure of success is leaving, and beaches line the long, dark parks. Nictitiana and Gadisha spell in their beds, dereliction occupies the empty benches. Breezes lift the chuckling leaves, all season, even out of autumn. Shades of soldiers, thieves and witches, and cobweb trees on terrace streets, watchers, twitchers, bingo goers, doors to pavements, private to public in an inkling, going somewhere out of nowhere. Spilling anthill of Botchergate, the citadel in a moat of waiting traffic, the station ceiling abbey high, engines thundering down the aisle, going somewhere out of nowhere. Tall places boarded, their tinkled panes stoved in. Charity shops unhoard the hoarded, the broad-shouldered tops dust pink faded prints, and overwashed fair isle in heather rose. Slate-wet alleys purpled brickwork, chic signs, lighted banks and offices of eaters, heavy-breathing mills of sleepers. Everything is something else. In the post office, a waitress gathers plates. The Lonsdale, that's all, folks, the end. Park, eat time, go out with friends. Eat all you can, shabby dukes and gilded scholars. In knife-like winds with lifted collars. Finish shifts, sharp, clean scent of emptied streets, all out of nowhere, going somewhere. Journeys home, the old trajectories, out of town, out of factories. Navigation by a remnant chimney. Over the river or out where the estuary steals up on you and whirls you by the waist. As hips sway through water, all you care for is held aloft. Some old clipping says so. There's a paper photo gone like peach skin. That smell of rotted underlay pervades. The museum, rotunded on Castle Way, the castle castrated from the town, its silver bow at arm's length closed, tricked out with sails, flicked out like a spider's rope. The Scotland Road, the London Road, a trope for getting on and getting out. The uni and the city mat, everything is something else. Rebirth pains, the lanes aren't leafy and they never were. Hovels to chains of big accusing shops, all the rest aiming for niche, bijou, boutique. The long necks of sleek girls, slick lips, ray-stained skin and commission in their eyes. Can I help you? Can I try? Pub halls, hails, crawls, and like folding dancers in music boxes, the lovely girls on legs of foals, the drunken spoken, the broken ballet of it all. A pint on a pub wall, gangrened gravestones leaning in, damp cloth of wind around the cathedral close, brim filled with sweet-lauded lives and patchwork quilts. Be afraid as wisdom might begin here. Beige and bone, a hound roams, leadless through the town, unstitched from a tapestry, heading to be history, and taken to the pound.
Fire station log, July 1956. Minute by minute, the log lays out each day, makes a map of years and men's work, now gone from these walls and this space, though some say their shouts and echoes still vein the builder's stone. Earth, air, water, fire. Stories fly or drown in the city's streaming atoms and ash. A train kills a man. A haystack burns down. A cat on a roof, a motorbike crash. Yesterday's paper revolves on a breath of wind. Cinema times, the score in the test, classified ads, births, marriages, deaths, crises in Suez, unease in the West. Scraps of past time patched into a magic present. 4 p.m, cat down from the roof on the crescent.
Fragments from a fire station. The River Eden, reclaiming its course through the fire station, floods the engine room, drowning appliances, equipment, leaving traces, echoes, fragments. The ghosts are watching. They will jostle you on the narrow stairs. Along the corridor, doors to open, smooth handles holding memories of hands. Look inside each room, spaces full of absence, doors to close. The ghosts are watching. They hide in walls, floors, ceilings, corners. Here they eat, sleep, play. They are a clan. George Carruthers, John Hetherington, Andrew Graham. Press your ear to the wall, you will hear them. They have their own language. Scratch the paint on the whitewashed walls, you will catch a glimpse. Whitewash, night watch, downtime. The ghosts are sleeping. Paul Elliott dreams of storms and ships. John Hetherington dreams of Susan. A shout, noise, bright lights. George Carruthers struggles into clothes. Andrew Graham feels his way searching for doors that have disappeared. Kevin Armstrong stumbles into unfamiliar walls. Decades of bodies collide, disorientated, lost in this new labyrinth of walls and doors. Abandoned space, whitewashed walls, a row of empty beds, each draped with a Union Jack. The ghosts are watching. They will follow you down the fire escape, across the training yard to the drill tower, steps to climb, past the first, second, third window. At the fourth, pause for breath, past the fifth and sixth. At the top of the tower, the ghosts will stand with you.
Emergency services. The young men, past days and old ghosts are gone, but the builders' bricks, beams and stones remain. The haystack still burns. The river flows on, seeking out edges again and again. Remember the flood's sudden violence that took away safety, power and light. Remember the city's uneasy silence and the still black lake in the streets at night. Some say, is it true that fire is alive? So does it feel fear or pray for good luck? Does it need water or air to survive, locked in the dark hold of a boat or a truck? Water, earth, fire, air. This stuff from which dreams are made leads each stitch of story to where the ghosts are laid.
It was always someone else's, somewhere else. Always in sight of Criffel and the Lakeland Fells, the last spinning scenes that end a long last stride. Crippled by history, dysentery, and abandoned ambition, a king strikes out for Cultram, but his bow rebels at Brough, it sacks him. He curls into the mud, a flexing worm, his knees drawn to his chest. He had bled Berwick, lit the torches that gallop and flare along the Reaver's fuse, and now he brings his towering fury forward to the marsh at Solworth, the best place to cross. Then in arms, shoulder-height soldiers try to raise him shoulder-height, and in the arms of mothering men, he's swallowed by the sea marsh's salty bite.
Called you. I don't believe in household gods. The fire of water on my mantelpiece adorns my living space. That's all. Conversation piece, a caprice, something to catch the light. That's all it is. On May Day, 4 years back, high on Skidder's northern flank, I found the Cordew bubbling free from 400 million years of rock formed from sediment laid down in southern seas. I caught it in a flask and stowed it in my rucksack. I brought it to my Blackwell home and found for it a crystal fire. It catches the morning light, casts a spectrum on the wall. Didn't take it all, of course. Down my lane, down the slope to the narrow flood-prone valley, the cordial still runs swiftly onto Denton Hole, Cordial Gate, the Eden, and the Solway Firth. I never sought to tame it. In spate I walk its banks and revel in its rough old power. Its rolling earth-brown waves smack toppled trees and torn fences against the buttresses of bridges, and strew fresh pebble beaches where its dippers and goosandas wait for its anger to subside. Biter of paths, it swallows up great clods of soil and grass I'd lately walked upon. Honestly, it's just my local river, so the crystal fire of its water cannot affect my luck or health, and needs no pagan worship. Something to catch the light, that's all it is.
Walked over London Road, Forest Hill and Malley Close, Scoppy and Cumberton in the rain, Hazeldean and Meadow, all the time passing through and never stopping once to feel the pain. I've travelled every road that you've been on. I've travelled every road that you've gone. Blackwell Road, Jubilee, Hammond's Pond, the boundary, cars go by, children stand and wait. Leave behind me 5 lanes end, and I walk right through the citadel, always feeling I've arrived too late. Well, I've travelled every road that you've been, and I've travelled every road that you are. My boots spark echoes down Greystone Road like a ghost. They fade like footsteps when the town is closed. When the town is closed. Denton home on Sowerby, I walk through the cemetery, carved names call blindly as I walk by. Morton, Bellevue, Etterby, the Eden flows eternally, and only herons know the reason why. I've travelled every road that you've been. I've travelled every road that That's the Patchwork Opera.
Thank you.